Don't be in this bitch. Wait till I come back in the market late night, and then it's just you, and I slap you up. Yeah. You trying to act off, son? All like this in front of all your peeps. Tell your mama I said Happy Mother's Day, and then Karen in my face and shit like what?
My son. Think I ain't spoke to my son. Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas. His ass going to prison. If you goddamn keep it up, his ass going to prison.
Then he wanna talk about some other shit. Like this being shit. This being shit. No, I'm being real. You lying. You lying. You up here flagging. You're cat.
Stand by right here for me. There you go. I'm 10 extend, 1 detain. Spread your legs slightly. I just need to pat you down.
Y'all, T.I.'s worst nightmare might be unfolding right before his eyes. For years, the Atlanta legend has warned his son, King Harris, about the path he was headed down, telling him straight up that the streets don't forgive and the law doesn't play favorites. Back in 2022, T.I. even predicted it himself. If King didn't slow down and change his ways, he could easily end up facing 5 years behind bars. Now, 2 years later, those words sound less like fatherly advice and more like a prophecy that's coming true. Because right now, King Harris is staring at the very real possibility of a 5-year prison sentence. And honestly, nobody can really act surprised. The warning signs weren't just there, they were screaming out loud. Reckless driving, flashing guns in music videos, viral altercations like that infamous Waffle House fight. King's been stacking up mistakes like they were trophies. Every bad choice seemed like another brick in a wall he was building around himself. And then came October 2024, the day everything finally came crashing down. It happened in Atlanta. King pulled out of a gas station in his BMW and almost collided with a police cruiser. From that moment, it was already game over. The officers got out, walked up to his car, and immediately things went left. First, they caught the strong smell of weed drifting out the window. Then, they spotted the detail that sealed his fate, a handgun sitting right on his hip in plain sight. With that, they already knew how the night was going to end, but it didn't stop there. When they ran his name through the system, the situation went from bad to worse. Turns out King still had an active warrant dating back to 2022 charges for overspeeding, driving on a suspended license, and a DUI. And instead of handling it back then like everyone else, he skipped court and let that warrant sit. For 2 years, it was like a ticking time bomb, and in 2024, it finally exploded. The arrest footage that leaked online made the whole world see exactly how it went down. First posted by Badge Chronicles and then picked up by Vlad TV, the nearly 30-minute video shows everything in raw detail. The cops pulling King out of his BMW, the moment they unholstered the gun from his hip, him being cuffed, patted down, and placed into the back of the patrol car. You can see it in his face. He knows he messed up. He's irritated, tense, but also aware there's no smooth talking his way out of this one. And what makes this moment even heavier is the timing. Just weeks after the arrest, King became a father. He posted about his newborn son, even dropped a heartfelt track called Dear Son, giving fans the impression he was ready to step into manhood and leave the reckless lifestyle behind. But instead of embracing fatherhood, he's now walking into a courtroom that could strip him of the next 5 years of his life. So how did King Harris go from being the privileged son of a hip-hop icon to possibly sitting in a prison cell before his 21st birthday? The truth is, this story isn't just about one bad night. It's about years of warnings ignored, chances wasted, and a young man chasing chaos until it finally caught him.
Yes, sir.
There's one in the head.
Does your buddy have one as well? Alright, just hang tight right here for me. Let me clear this. I don't want any accidental fires.
There's no safety, you gotta take it.
There's no safety. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna mess around with that too much. You just set this down right here. Dude, step out for me. Yes, sir. Place your hands behind your back for me. Alright, right now you're just being detained. You're not under arrest. gonna be at the church. Alright, I appreciate you being cool, man. We're just gonna take a look at this information, make sure it's valid.
I ain't tripping this.
Just take the step to the side for me.
One of the arresting officers later admitted that King wasn't wilding out or causing a scene. He was calm, polite, and cooperative throughout the whole process. But that didn't change the outcome. He was booked into DeKalb County Jail, and when the old warrant finally got recalled, he was transferred over to Pickens. In the blink of an eye, King went from flexing on Instagram, showing off cars and jewelry, to sitting inside a jail cell while the entire internet watched his downfall play out in real time. And that's the part that hits the hardest, because none of this came out of nowhere. T.I. had already called it years ago. Back in 2022, when King's reckless behavior first started making headlines, Tip went on Instagram and gave a blunt warning. He said if his son didn't slow down and straighten up, prison would be the only place he'd end up. And he wasn't just talking like a worried dad protecting his kid. He was speaking from hard-earned experience, as someone who'd already walked down that same road and paid the price for it.
My son, think I ain't spoke to my son. Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas, his ass going to prison. If he goddamn keep that shit up, his ass going to prison. Ain't no way around it. Ain't nothing I'm gonna be able to do about it. Can't nobody stop it but him. You know what I mean? I've already had that conversation. I've already made my peace with it. Cause I know that energy. I was that energy. I know exactly how it's gonna turn out.
Tip had even said it straight back then. Time is going to be his teacher. And now, that teacher looks a lot like a 5-year prison sentence. So when clips of King's arrest started circulating online, fans instantly dug up that old video of T.I. warning his son. The internet went crazy. Some people dragged him, saying, "See, he spoke it into existence." Others felt sympathy, pointing out how painful it must be for a father to watch his own prophecy play out in real time. Either way, one thing was clear. Tip saw this coming long before anyone else. He recognized the energy, the patterns, and the way things were building up, and still, King didn't listen. And speaking of not listening, one of the earliest red flags was the infamous Waffle House meltdown in 2022. That was the moment a lot of people really started to side-eye King, thinking, yeah, he's headed down the wrong road. The video went viral. King, in the middle of a screaming match with Waffle House staff, puffing his chest, yelling, and trying to prove himself. Instead of looking tough, though, he came off entitled, immature, and completely out of control. Even T.I. couldn't defend that one. He later went live and admitted he was genuinely baffled. He said he couldn't understand why his son even stopped what he was doing just to argue with a short-order cook. To him, it made no sense at all. Why match that energy when you have nothing to prove? But for King, it was another moment of chasing chaos, another sign that he was trying too hard to build an image that didn't match reality. Here's the clip of King in that Waffle House argument, an outburst so reckless that even Tip himself couldn't excuse it.
But what I'm saying is, they
You
wasn't.
can talk like that outside.
Hey, I can talk how the fuck I want to wherever I'm at. I'm on live, shawty. Stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. This ain't your fucking restaurant. This ain't your fucking restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my pocket right now. I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Get the hell out of my face. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Who the hell is he? What's your name?
What's your name?
My name King. You know it and your mama know it. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. File your shit.
Come back.
What? On game what? On game what? Come here. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. Come here. Come on.
And if the Waffle House fiasco wasn't embarrassing enough, the whole gun situation made it crystal clear just how far off track King was drifting. Remember when T.I. and Boosie had to literally check their own sons on camera? That clip went viral for a reason. King and Boosie's son, Tootie Raw, were on set shooting a music video, but instead of focusing on the music, the whole vibe looked more like a trap house. Guns everywhere, flashing like props. That's when the dads had to step in and shut it down. You can hear Tip in the background, frustrated, basically saying, "Why y'all even toting guns when you got girls right here?" The love was tough, but it was real. What followed turned into a full-on lecture. T.I. broke it down, point by point, how one careless move with a weapon, or even being in the wrong place with drugs, could put them in a cell before they even knew what hit them. And the crazy part? He wasn't yelling or coming down hard, he was literally giving them the exact blueprint to avoid the mistakes he had already made himself. A father laying out the game plan to keep them safe, free, and successful. And it wasn't just words. The clip shows the raw moment T.I. and Boosie sitting their sons down, making it clear that flashing guns in music videos isn't a flex, it's a straight road to prison.
Treat mine like you treat yours.
Why y'all got so much time, bro? Why y'all always gotta have?
What is it about?
It's not illegal to have.
Well, in the manner in which you portraying in the lifestyle, it don't look legitimate, sir.
Cause I'm not supporting no more. I'm not.
Ain't doing.
I'm not.
What kind of parents don't support their kids in their goddamn slide? Bigger than you popping it. And then got over there. So careful of them, they say, hey, who do you belong to? Who raised their hand? Somebody got to raise their hand.
I've been seeing him around too here a lot.
You gonna raise your own hand?
I've been seeing him around too like that.
Huh?
Well, when you got it ain't I know that.
When y'all got around those people, they call it's not the possession of and commission of a crime, sir. That is a felony.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fans actually gave T.I. and Boosie a lot of credit for stepping in that day. People online praised both fathers, saying it was refreshing to see hip-hop legends actively trying to guide their sons instead of just letting them spiral out of control. But the real problem? King himself. You could see it in his body language. He was hearing the words, but he wasn't really listening. The lessons went in one ear and right out the other. And what had fans side-eyeing him even more wasn't just the guns in music videos or the temper tantrums, it was his personal life. The biggest curveball came when King suddenly popped up with a baby mama that instantly had everyone talking. The mother of his child, who goes by Big Nana, quickly became a hot topic. Rumors swirled online that she was way older than King, and social media did what it always does, picked her apart. Some accused her of only being around for the money. Others said she was just a groupie trying to lock in a check. Either way, the alleged age gap had fans clowning and criticizing non-stop. But King, he didn't care, not even a little. Instead of distancing himself, he doubled down. He went all in, throwing Big Nana a full baby shower, posting proudly about the pregnancy, and brushing off every rumor like it didn't exist. And when their son was born in November 2024, King couldn't stop bragging. He flooded his socials with posts, acting like fatherhood was the fresh start that would turn his life around. Here's the clip of King celebrating with Big Nana at their baby shower, smiling like everything was perfect, even as the internet kept whispering.
You're the coffee that I need in the morning. You're my sunshine in my brain when it's pouring. Won't you give yourself...
And not long after, he was online proudly talking about his newborn son.
A lot of people hit me up like, King, I know you tired, you ain't getting no sleep. And the truth be told, before this look, I ain't been getting no sleep. You know what I'm saying? I just been outside working, lifestyle. You know, lifestyle just lifing. You know what I'm saying? And, but now I'm damn sure not getting no sleep. This up every morning, and then around the morning time, he like to do that little live concert I be doing with him. And he like to walk around the house.
King even tried to turn the page by dropping a track called Dear Son, where he rapped about stepping up as a father. On Instagram, he posted the words, the 5th of November, 8:09 a.m. Welcome, King Jr. Time to take over. For a moment, it really seemed like he was ready to change, that maybe fatherhood had humbled him and given him a reason to move differently. But the timing couldn't have been worse. While King was cradling his newborn and playing proud dad for the cameras, the footage of his arrest was circulating online, dragging him right back into the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. And the sad part? None of this came as a shock. Fans had been saying for years that King's reckless behavior was going to catch up with him. This was the full circle moment everyone had been predicting, his choices finally coming back to bite. So if a judge really does hit King with 5 years, don't expect to see T.I. angry. Expect to see him heartbroken, because yes, he warned him. Yes, he tried to guide him. But when it's your child sitting in that courtroom, shackled and facing prison time, that pain cuts deeper than anything. And if you've ever watched T.I. and King together on their podcast, you already know the bond is real. That's exactly why this would hit Tip even harder, not as a rapper, not as a mentor, but as a father, watching his son lose years he can never get back.
Man, get out.
So I ain't know
Get
Tupac
out!
was an actor.
Get out!
I thought that was a looking like Tupac. And
What are you talking about? You never seen Juice?
Yeah, I did. I thought that was a looking like Tupac.
What about when they say Tupac Shakur on the screen?
I ain't see that.
Come on, bro. What are you talking
I
about?
don't watch the credits.
How could you embarrass me like this?
And it's not just going to hurt T.I. personally, it's going to hit his image too. People are already quick to drag him online, saying he failed as a father, that all the money, success, and fame in the world still couldn't stop his son from spiraling out of control. If King actually ends up sentenced, those voices are only going to get louder. That's especially tough because T.I. has always branded himself as the wise OG, the dad who's been through it, learned from it, and now passes down the lessons so the next generation doesn't have to make the same mistakes. Watching his own son ignore those lessons and crash anyway, that's the kind of blow that cuts at both his family and his reputation.
You know what I'm saying? Kind of woosah yourself outside of the public opinion. Then I think, you know, because I tell you what, I have the greatest, most extensive family photo album. I can document and, like, I could go back to when King was Eris's age. I can go back to when Major was my granddaughter's age.
But one thing about T.I., he's always made it clear that no matter how messy it gets, he's going to love King through it all. So even if he's disappointed, you already know he'll be the first one standing by his son in that courtroom. And of course, once the arrest footage and court updates started spreading online, the internet had plenty to say. The reactions were all over the map. Some people were clowning him, others low-key impressed, and a few just hoping he finally gets it together. One fan wrote, "King is enjoying every minute knowing he might go viral. He knows he's being recorded. I'm glad he was respectful." And honestly, you can see that in the video. Even while he's being cuffed, King isn't lashing out or causing a scene. He's calm, maybe too calm, like he knows the cameras are rolling, and this is just another clip for the blogs. Then came the crowd, calling it his so-called street cred moment. Someone commented, "That man finally got his street cred. He's been telling y'all he outside," and that right there shows how twisted the situation has become. Because instead of celebrating fatherhood and focusing on his newborn, people think King is out here chasing a jail record just to prove he's real. But not every reaction was harsh. Some fans actually tried to give him grace. One person commented, "He's going to be fine. He's been doing good since his son was born, so I'm wishing him blessings." And that's the flip side. There are people out there still holding on to hope, believing fatherhood might be the anchor that finally grounds him, even if prison ends up being part of that lesson. For T.I., though, this has to feel like deja vu. It's history repeating itself. The same system he fought tooth and nail to escape is now threatening to swallow up his own son. And the painful truth? Deep down, Tip saw this coming. So, don't get it twisted, this isn't just King Harris wilding out for headlines. This is the real thing, a real case, a real possibility of 5 years in prison, and above all, a real test for T.I. as a father. Because if that sentence does get handed down, King's story won't just be another viral clip, it'll be a hard, permanent lesson stamped onto his life forever. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.